Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and this is going to be some more Factorio Space Age. Happy New Year! To anyone watching this in the beginning of the new year, that's incredibly loud for me, and I don't know if that's. Well, the game looks quite loud on that. Let's have a look on the settings. Well, that doesn't look any different to what I normally do. Let's take it down a bit there, and then yeah, that will seem better. It's still quite loud for me. Let me just twiddle with my microphone. Microphone. Headphones. There we go. Cool. So it looks like we have levels and all that sort of stuff. Are we actually live on? There we go. Been a while since I've done this, obviously. Yeah, we've got some video coming through there, I think. Yeah, that's all good. Cool. So, I'll be honest, I didn't have the best Christmas break, New Year break. I went back to work on Thursday. It's a very short one for me, no extra time particularly. But also when I went down to Christmas, down to my family for Christmas, unfortunately I picked up my dad's cold, so I spent most of the rest of the break in bed, basically. I did get the opportunity to play quite a bit of Factorio, and how can I go through all this? So basically, I think this was new. I think I built it's identical to the first one. Literally exactly the same logistics requests, exactly the same build, blah 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 blah, and they're doing exactly the same route. And that's kind of always what I intended, but I guess it was worth noting that we've got a second one just doing a run round. They do have a situation. So what I ended up doing, I think I did this on stream, but they have this thing where they can fill in a bit of yellow ammo if these end up, with gaps in sort of thing in the belt. And basically, occasionally it will, a turret will pick some yellow ammo up and it'll fill that up and then it can't get any more. And so we get a lot of notifications saying that, we got stuff missed. It doesn't actually loop round this belt, I don't think, does it? No, this one. No, it doesn't go all the way round the platform. So, yeah, it's quite prone to doing that. So we get a lot of alerts, basically. So that's just to let you know. But yeah, I think this one has I think this is like got a level 2 grabber arm on it, and I think it might have some higher level crushers. I think I put on it, or maybe the other way around. They're lower level crushers and this was a higher level grabber, something like that. But yeah, they're functional. They work. We don't get hit by any things. I have done a lot of both explosive and gun. What's it called? Physical projectile damage. So we're getting to the stage actually where these, like, almost using red ammo, they basically one shot, medium meteorites and stuff like that. So it's not struggling at all to keep yourself alive. So that's that one. The other thing I did is I completely rebuilt Sweet Ride. Now, it's based on the same sort of idea. It's actually asymmetrical. So I've kind of moved away from this whole thing of, making the platforms like, symmetrical and having the thrusters in the thing. Because it really doesn't matter. There's no turning force. It doesn't steer or anything like that. It just pushes it forward. So it was just easier to design it, and I've still ended up with a fairly big gap there, which I was wondering maybe I'd put in, solar panels and accumulators, but it doesn't seem to be struggling. Or maybe even more nuclear, because it's slightly more nuclear, slightly easier at generating power with better sort of belt things. It's like a refinement of the same design, basically. So I've improved it as it's gone along. It doesn't have any kind of like smarts on these. It's just literally if stuff is overflowing, it just throws it overboard, basically, because it doesn't need to. And this is a looping belt, you see. So we have tons and tons of ammo and rockets and stuff going round and round and round. Now, I built this one to say as, the Sweet Ride one. But I then ended up just copying it for Freezer because it just makes such an easy job of going back and forth. It does take a long time to get itself set up, basically. So in order to accumulate all of this stuff, basically the fuel is like the last thing it produces. So in other words, everything else has to fill up before it will start making fuel. And of course, if it's sat in Aquilo, now if it's orbit, it's not actually getting that much stuff. and of course it can't move until it's made some fuel. So yeah, it sat there for ages before it was all filled up. But as you can see, it's full belts, and everything's all stocked up and everything. So yeah, so I decided, right, well, it works. It has no problems going around the solar system. In fact, they're probably a bit overkill, to be honest with you, say, given the damage I've done. So this is now our transport that we will use to send back a cryoscience, basically. I haven't done anything really on Aquilo. I had to fix it because it got all backed up because I wasn't burning the fuel, basically. The solid fuel that it was making. So that's all I've really done on Aquilo. So we'll continue that properly. On Nauvis, the other thing I've been doing, I've been messing about, basically. So I've now replaced, I think, all of the patches with big mining drills. I've put in some foundries. I didn't put in electromagnetic plants particularly. We already had those. So I've not switched circuit production to EM plants particularly, basically because I didn't have time. So what this is doing, these have got all obviously quality modules in them. They do produce, I mean, it's actually like more than a red belt, more than a blue belt, ever so slightly, I think, or spot on, something like that. But there isn't actually that much demand, I'm not doing a lot of stuff on Nauvis. Other than sort of making science at the moment, because the patches just last forever with the big binding drills and the prod bonus. I've not actually been doing prod bonuses particularly. Obviously I already had the plastic and that already done, but they just last forever. It's just like these virtually aren't going down because there's so much coming out. So much like buff from the big mining drills, and obviously then I'm virtually not using it because what I'm really using is calcite, because that's a new resource, as it were, and even that, it's a tiny amount that it uses, and it's just so much more efficient, this recipe, especially when you add in the prod bonus. It's like all the trains have basically ground to a halt because they got nothing to do. There's no demand for resources particularly. Apart from this is only needs all upgrading. As I say, it's the circuit production. So once that's done, the base is almost going to be, like producing so much it's not really doing much. What I therefore did, because we were having so much excess stuff going on, is I started messing about with quality things. So at the end here, I've got some recyclers just grabbing stuff off of the belts, because there's, as you can see, there's no real movement of the belts, and just trying to, roll the dice and get quality stuff. Now that obviously we don't have a legendary, but it's set up so that when we do get that researched, it'll produce legendary bits and pieces as well. And therefore, I also started producing modules at various higher quality levels. We're not producing them particularly quickly, mainly because, if I'm honest, we completely ran out of the quality modules. So it's actually kind of using... Where are they? I think I put level 1s in and stuff like that. Somewhere. There's a whole chunk of them somewhere. So these are all level 2, quality modules. But it's all sort of set up, ready to go, and I can replace the quality modules when it's made a few more, because it is slowly now ticking over making them. But it was just messing about, really, just sort of... And I also did panels and accumulators, because I kind of figure we're going to need them for the ship to get to the solar system edge. But I would have added, what they called cargo thingies, cargo bays and thrusters and stuff, but again, sort of ran out of time, really. So yeah, so I've just been messing about quality. I did batteries because we needed them for, the thing. And it's not massively productive in terms of the quality stuff, but then it is very much like I'm sticking this on right when the base is all finished and stuff, so it's not really, you kind of need a draw on resources in order to pull it, and I wasn't willing to recycle everything, basically. So that was mainly what I did. Oh, hello, PT Dog. Welcome. After some 70 or 80 hours of space age, I have earned the No Room for More achievement. Which one is that one, then? It's No Room for More. Which is achievements on here? Achievements, there we go. Don't usually look at it. No Room for More, No Room for More. It's probably one I've not got. No room for more. Oh, right. Fill every tile of legendary mech armor with legendary equipment. Yeah, that was the other thing I would have added. We do sort of have quality modules in the bits and pieces production. Obviously, I haven't unlocked legendary yet, but we have made a few, purple batteries and stuff like that. So I could have added that on as well. It feels like I don't know. I need to do a playthrough. I think just with version 2. It's what I'm probably going to do next with quality, so I can really get my head around it. And also messing about parameterization. I was looking that up, and it looks awesome. It looks like it's going to be perfect for how I do a lot of bot builds, because these can be parameterized basically, and then I don't have to manually put in every single thing. I can just do it once, and it tells it, right, this is a request for, I don't know, turrets or something like that. And it sets it all up and it requests the stack size and all that sort of stuff. So that looks awesome, but I've not really implemented that at all, and I'm not going to, because I don't want to spend the streams messing about. We're nearly at the end, to be honest with you. So yeah, so that was all the messing about. And I guess Volcanus as well. We ran out of tungsten, basically. I completely ate through this relatively small patch up here. So all I did was killed a couple of demolishers, poor guys, and picked up this additional thing here. It's 6.9 million, so hopefully we won't run out, before the end of this series. I also just stuck on a whole load of extra power production, just because it was getting on the edge, basically, because I finished this off. I'd started this on stream, but this is now just a second sulfur patch. Tapped, we did sort of run out of coal, but it was only because I'd only done like regular miners on a small strip, basically. So we've not actually run out of the coal patch. We've simply eaten through, and like there I was kind of running out of stuff. So again, bits and pieces of upgrading. I've doubled the amount of science production. It only needed me to add on a little bit extra there, and I had to do some extra management on stuff like resources and that, because I started making bigger requests for belts and all that sort of stuff. So yeah. Did I do anything on Fulgora? I don't think I did. I don't think I even doubled these science, because these seem to be producing double what I was expecting. They seem to be absolutely pumping it out. But I don't know if that's just because I haven't been focusing on sciences that aren't using them. But yeah, this base only really seems to kick in when science is being demanded. And so we've... I think that's gone down, hasn't it? That was like 6 million or something. But that 25 million and 13 million, I think that was what they were when we started. And we've obviously got this one ready to go as well, pretty much. So yeah, Fulgora's in a good state. Gleba, I had to do a lot of fiddling about and fixing, because things weren't like... basically what I'd done is I kind of set it up such that like nutrient was dependent on bioflux, and bioflux was dependent on nutrient, essentially. And so when I had like an imbalance somewhere, and I think it was because science packs weren't being moved around quick enough, excuse me, basically I ran out of one, and that caused me to run out of another. And I only realised that because some of the nests on Nalvis started spawning biters, because they'd run out of the bioflux. So eventually I worked out the solution to it really. And I did put in a load more roboports again, because that seems to be one of my constraining things. Ooh. But all I really did basically is put some assembly machines on making nutrient, and I can't even see where they are now. Are they up here? Yeah. So basically, because these don't require nutrient to function, so you're not getting that internal dependency, and there's always going to be spoilage, basically, because these fruits, although they do take hours to spoil, they do eventually spoil. So eventually it will sort of kick-start itself, and nutrient will kick back in, even just with the assumption that, there's nothing in the machines that get done. I've also done a lot of where I am using nutrient, making sure I take it out, so like getting rid of it, getting rid of spoilage, sorry. So then there's a bit better flow on the spoilage, basically. But yeah, it seems to be stable now, but I'm sure it'll fall over at some point. We've had a few pentapod attacks. I haven't done another range, I don't think, but basically where they've tried to colonise and then just come in, because we are still protecting the cloud. Just about. Probably need another range in a bit. So that's kind of where we are, and all the fiddling about I've been doing. We are on our Aquilo, so that's what we need to continue doing. To be honest, the legendary Holmium was the bottleneck, but I found a dupe exploit and engineered a setup to dupe multiple at a time. Yeah. Legendary Holmium. I guess that's because the production of it is so low, is it? So, because you'd have to... I assume it recycles in... It's one of those that recycle into itself. That's one of the things I've been struggling to get my head around slightly with the recycling, is that, you know, things that are... Because this is all... Everything on intermediates is not the same from a recycling point of view, because, you know, iron plate doesn't recycle into ore. It recycles into iron plate. But steel doesn't recycle into iron plate. It recycles into steel. And some of these others seem to do the same sort of thing. But then batteries, which is also an intermediate, recycles into iron plate and copper. And obviously you lose the sulfuric acid. So getting my head around that has been... a bit confusing, because say some that are intermediates actually recycle into like lower, you know, they're like second tier intermediates, and some are, you know, sort of first tier intermediates, so they just recycle back into themselves with a chance of becoming the next level up sort of thing. So when you recycle one of those as a epic battery, you get epic plates out of it sort of thing. So there's a weird sort of you know, feedbacking loops and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, that's one of the things I've struggled with, really, to get my head around on the recycling. And it's why I didn't touch it, because it just felt like it was going to get very confusing for something to stream. Got to use the level 2 quality models if you're short on circuits. Legendary Mark 1 energy shields, my beloved. So I assume, I mean, because one of the things they said at the LAN party is that quite an easy one to do is the solar panels, because you're probably making, you know, to fill the gaps basically in the legendary stuff, because you're kind of probably making solar panels anyway, and you just stick a few modules in and then you've stacked up a load of, you know, stuff by the time you get there. And then they're just extra, yeah, advanced circuits and steel. So they're actually relatively easy to chunk through, and of course each one takes up one. But yeah, they're pretty cheap, aren't they, energy steel, especially compared to the solar panels. And of course they then take up 2x2, don't they? So that's a lot more efficient in terms of a space thing. And I guess, yeah, so I suppose all you need to do with them is stick in a quality module with steel plate and circuits, and then you can probably get enough to run through. So actually they're probably a bit better, aren't they? Have you considered the direct insertion build on Kleber? I didn't really consider it, no. I just went with bots, really. It's probably a lot better. I mean, I was kind of thinking it through. It's just, bots are just easy, aren't they? You know, you just stamp down the same thing and just change the recipes and off you go. And that's kind of why I went for it, because I didn't really want to mess about with Kleber. As long as you manage the stuff coming out, which is what I've, you know, been working around. But I think because these, the fruits, you get so many, and they have like, is it a 2 hour? Oops, a 2 hour, or an hour then, something like that. Yeah, it must be an hour spoil time, which is ages. So having them sat on a belt is probably not too bad of a thing. So it kind of feels like maybe every time you want to make something, you sort of turn it into, you know, mash, because they're only like, is that 10 minutes? No, it's not even 10 minutes, it's 3 minutes. So if you do that like straight away, as it were, and maybe also turn it into nutrient at the same time, because you can turn, I think, or am I going mad? Yeah, so you can turn the mash into nutrient. So it does sort of feel like a kind of especially, I mean, I guess also you could just use an assembly machine to do the nutrient, and then, you know, it sort of wouldn't matter as much, you know, it wouldn't get stuck with itself, and you wouldn't have to feed it back in, sort of thing. Although you would, because it's... Oh. But yeah, it does feel like sort of small, like loops or like little groups of buildings with direct insertion would be, you know, quite an efficient way of doing things, and then just making sure you take spoilage out if things get stuck. But yeah, no, I just went with a very simple, exactly the same build, repeated over and over type approach. Ooh. Where are we? Okay, so yes, Aquilo. Everything should be heated back up now. Yeah, okay, so we're nice and hot. I had, I stuck on some towers as well just to make sure I had some way of heating things back up. But it was this that was the main problem. I say it was absolutely full of solid fuel. And therefore the, what do you call it, ammonia backed up. And then, it basically just stopped producing ice. And of course, ice is the way of getting water. So this is my sort of temporary fit. The problem I really had with it, because I wasn't on Aquilo when it was happening. I'd gone to Volcanoes to mess about on there, and basically, I'm stamping this down, thinking this is solving the problem, and of course all the bots couldn't charge because there's no power on. Now there is a little cheat you can do with roboports, which is basically when you place a roboport. I mean, obviously that's overheating, cold, but when you place a roboport down, it has some electricity in it. Even if it doesn't, even if it's not drawing power from the system, there's a tiny amount of charge. So what you can do is basically just keep spamming them down and picking them up. But that's not very easy to do on a planet like this, where you need bots to be doing your building. But yeah, if you ever sort of ended up with no power, you can just say spam them down, and there's a tiny little bit of power in them. And the bots will charge and then do a little bit, and then you pick it up again and put it down again. Yes, so what we really need to do then is kind of push on, because I think what we were lacking really, because all of these are kind of set up and ready to go. I hadn't put anything in here, had I, in terms of... No, so we've got the lithium on the belt, but we don't have... The other thing I could do, of course, is put in some rocket fuel production. That'll get rid of that. But I also need a little thing with recyclers, I think, just to get rid of ice when it overflows, essentially. So it doesn't get stuck. So, how are we going to do that then? Because we don't want to really... Maybe... Yeah, because we need to make the... That needs ammonia as well, and water, okay. So that's quite a convenient thing to have on the go, isn't it? Oops, what's its connections? We've got connection there. Could I get water into it? Quite probably. So if we were to put you there, there, say, and then we could connect that over. Can we do an extension of that? Because I can get rid of this. Okay. How's that going to work? Maybe... I wonder if the recyclers I could pop in there somehow. Yeah, maybe. And then... Because if we put that... Oh, I've already got an underground there, right? Yeah, okay. Oh. 2 Yamako meshing and 1 jelly nut squeezing make a good ratio with 2 bioflux chambers. Okay. The dupe exploit could only be done on supercaps to dupe holmium. Oh, supercapacitors. Oh, okay. Okay, so presumably that's a recycle them and you get... So what, that's presumably something like... You build the supercapacitors as an EMP, so you get twice as much, and then you recycle, and it gives you more than you put in, effectively. Way fewer jaws needed to unbarrel the water. Okay. Suggestion for bootstrapping on Aquilo: use barreled water. Way fewer jaws needed to unbarrel the water. That's exactly what Aquilo was. I'd have to import it then, though, wouldn't I? And I object to barrels on a principal basis. um, don't really need that, do I? Could need to rearrange that anyway. But that wouldn't be too difficult. Because we could have that, say, there. That. Oops. Oh. There. No, that's back on. In fact, still needs a back on. So that keeps that warm. And I probably don't need that. Oh, need that there. Okay. And then put, oops, can't. Put that one there. And I need some heat. So do that. That. Okay. So then this one, grab from there, but we obviously need some smarts on that one. Let's just do it on a logistics net or one for the time being. And then we'll do a feedback loop. Oh, it needs power, doesn't it? Let's just put that there for the time being. Oh, I'm not dying yet. No, presumably for the water, is it? Can you barrel water from ice then? Because surely you'd have to melt it anyway, wouldn't you? Because you need to melt the water to fill it into barrels. Jupiter X relies on having a building productivity of more than 100% reading when a supercapacitor is in the output slot and turning off the machine before the green bar finishes, allowing... okay. So it is a proper exploit then. I thought, isn't that the one? I thought that was the one they fixed. I guess it's a different one. I know there was one that people had found that they fixed. So that is... We'll get water. Why is it... Oh, it's because it's cold, isn't it? So if we put that there, say. So you would need solid fuel, of course. Forgot to put that on. So then that needs temperature as well. We bring that one over because we need to do that anyway. To warm you up. What else you need? So you got solid fuel. We will have. Except not. Why you stop? You stop because there's no ammonia. I guess the balance is off. Oh no, ice is stuck. So I need to do this. Let me think. What could I guess I could try this again. I messed this up before. But if we put a thing on there. Or does it want to be somewhere else? Because it stops for undergrounds, doesn't it? What would be a good one to be linked to? So probably... better. It was linked to that. Are there substations? Yes. we put a connection there. And we tell it to do all belts. And it doesn't stop at undergrounds, does it? So I don't need to bother with that. Splitters it stops at. Keep getting there the wrong way around. Right. So. On belts. Okay, so we can get rid of that one. And we could say turn off if there are greater than turn on rather. There are greater than 100 maybe? They should. I think technically you have to do more because of the percentages and stuff, but we should be okay, especially since we're only using it when it's kicking in. Now, I guess the question really, well, it's obviously empty now. Oh, I forgot about that. I mean, how many are there on the thing? Let's have a look, see. So there are 200 and odd on the belt as it's moving around. 220-ish. Just flowed through, I guess. So maybe if we switch that to 200. So it's only like when it log jams, basically. That'll. Is that right? It's not right, is it? So when will we want that to kick in? We will want that to kick in. When? Because why would it dip below 200 in this scenario? It dipped below 200 because this one has pulled too much off of the belt. Yeah, I think that's okay. We shall see. We shall see. Oh right, I'm not putting the rocket fuel in anything. Where do we want to put it? Can I move that down? No. Yeah, okay. So if we put that here, let's put it in active provider, but let's say to you, don't turn on if there are more than 200 in the system. I'd forgotten we had a silo on the go, because this pattern, as it were, this thing has a need to build silos on it, basically. Because you can't put silos on rockets and send them up, but you can build them on platforms. So you can send the bits up, build a silo, and then turn it off, basically. I mean, I haven't turned it off because there's nothing going on with this, but on the other one I have, I think. Did I? Oh no, we're still requesting it, but there you go. Yeah. Probably also, I realised on this, what I should actually do on this is like have it as a burner thing, probably. Because this is like its own little grid, basically. I need to connect that up in some way, I think. Again, this was all just emergency fixing things. Bots recover the input materials when I can deconstruct and then undo to reset the setup. I don't think this one can be fixed. The previous exploit was related to having the bonus production bar stay even if the current craft was cancelled due to items being removed in a deconstruct order by having the building stay up. Having the bonus production bar stay even if the current craft was cancelled and moved in a deconstruct order. I do remember them saying. I mean, there are things like that for a few things, I believe, because basically, as I remember them fiddling about with stuff, and basically, there was a Friday Facts where they were talking about how they were debating whether, how to phrase it, like effectively whether when it stops because you have the bonus bar, as it were, and it's like, and also the material in the machine, and it's like, at what point do you say the bonus happens, as it were? Because if you deconstruct it, as that, if it gets over 60%, over say 50%, does that mean you've got the the free production sort of thing? And when it happens, there's always going to be a tick basically where both items exist, and so if you were deconstructing it at that exact point, it would always give you the stuff back again, but you'd have to deconstruct it at that exact point. So they were sort of saying it's just going to be a fluke if it happens, so might as well not bother. Someone will just be puzzled why they got the stuff back even though they also got the item, sort of thing, just through the sheer coincidence of timing, But yeah. So what we need to do then is we basically need to get this fluorine in, essentially, because we have that. Excuse me. So we can get that in. I mean, obviously it's not hot enough. I put the pipe in there, haven't I? Yeah, okay. So the trick with that is the fact that it's all the way over here. Now, we need some bump jacks. We probably need quite a lot of pipe, I would guess. We have got concrete. We've not got any platform pieces, so we need a bunch of them. So we can build some pipes across. We're going to need to do something about getting heat out there. So I guess the sort of brutalist, simplest thing, especially since, I mean, we've got this here, haven't we? So maybe I just do like a chain of, well, let's go over this end, and in fact, let's get some. I could just do I'll just do a belt that goes out with a heat pipe next to it. And then a bunch of, I think I've already got some heating towers, haven't I? No? Yeah, I have. So that's to put the things in, pipe to go around, and then fluid pipe to do that. Probably going to need some oh, I've got pumps. I'm putting them the wrong way around. Where did they go? Get the chaos of these blooming chests here. A belt was what I was after. So if we just sort of grab a range of belts, whatever we've got. Crikey, bit of a mess. Undergrounds, have I got? I've not got undergrounds. Have I got any undergrounds in here? I'm trying to avoid using, I don't need splitters, but whatever. Bot requests, because they just suck up a load of power. That I'm not sure we've got spare. I could, I guess, start using burner inserters, couldn't I? For these heating tower extensions. Undergrounds, there we go, there's some undergrounds. And there's some more. Cool, cool. Yeah. What about you? Let's assume we'll use red belt. And then switch to blue if we have to. Cool. So our question really is the whole amount of this stuff we need. So if we say we need it 3 wide as a sort of starting point, so we'll go out with kind of this way. I'm feeling it's going to be like landfill, where you head off with what you think is plenty of landfill, and then you run out. You wouldn't believe. So let's say we come in the middle somewhere, maybe. Oh, looks like that might be all right. Yeah, there we go. Concrete we've got loads of, so Going to need to bring, as I say, heat pipe this way as well. So if we just, oops. Oh, I might as well put all that down, mightn't I? This is what we did when we were trying to break it basically. We all went to Aquilo and just spammed out platform and concrete and in great big chunks basically, and the whole thing sort of shuddered, shall we say, but it never actually fell over. So what order do we want to do this in then? So if we put, say, rocket fuel, I have a feeling I actually want that one tile up there. Maybe let's just build it in, because we've got plenty of platforms still. Let's just see what it looks like there. So if I put rocket fuel on there, the heat pipe along here, it's going to need to be wider every so often anyway, isn't it? And then I'll get rid of that. Like so. So here we go. Going up there. I need a lot more lithium. We're going to pipe that over, minimizing using undergrounds. Each underground takes 150 kilowatts to keep warm, while pipes only take 1 singular kilowatt per pipe. Underground take 150 to keep warm. Okay. I suppose I could take it so far, type of thing, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. We will have to see. Probably want undergrounds here just to make my life a little bit easier. Let's just start this here. Oh, looks like it's in the wrong place. Okay. And then maybe we put a heating tower at the end here. I mean, we kind of need a drain for. Oh, of course, I'm going to need. Oh, I'm going to need power anyway, aren't I? Okay, but I don't need to heat the power. No. Let's put you in there, and then I can. Oh, didn't bring any medium ones. Cool. Saw some people using trains on Aquilo. Looks like I'm a way off trying to do that. Let's put a couple of buttons in. Cool. So at least we're not backing up on ammonia anymore, which was kind of the problem I was having. Let's put some prods in there. Okay, so we need to hook all of this up at the other end, don't we? Yeah, I've got a bolt. So, I wonder if I can... Put one there. Nope. Heat it up eventually. Oh. There. Let's see. If we take that, maybe we're going to need to get past that. Yeah, aren't we? So maybe we do that on the top. One there, maybe. You've got to deal without it eating the lineup. It's 30 degrees, isn't it? I think is the threshold temperature. Right, we're also going to need power, but that's fine. That's not a difficult one. Maybe put one in there. Maybe this a bit further down. Right. Oops. Yeah, that'll do. Something like that. Of course, they've not got power. Something like that. Right, let's see what happens. The pipe setup won't work. Okay. I'm glad to see. Hello, Astrazal. Welcome, welcome. Glad to see that everyone's Aquilo looks like an Italian buffet. I'm not sure you can make it look clean with all the heat pipes you need. Yeah, it's all a bit of a mess, really, isn't it? Oh, the back end of this, you mean? Yeah. Yeah, because I can't get heat in there, can I? Oh. Okay. Do I need that there at all? We just go underneath and across like that, maybe? And that should be able to reach across the wall. There we go. Wait, that's now not connected to anything, is it? Where can I connect that? Undergrounds are kind of annoying on Aquilo, aren't they? Cool. So I don't imagine this will actually like burn a lot of fuel. Just the occasional one, just to add it in. But that's fine. think it's more this one I think I need to be a little concerned about, because at the moment I'm just sort of chucking it into the system. I think maybe probably filling all our chests up with solid fuel oil. Yeah, okay. So perhaps, and maybe, I should put in the solid. Oops, the solid fuel on it. So if I connect this to the logistic system, oops, wrong button, and say don't turn on unless there's more than 200. Don't want to do that though, do I? I want that to be different to the other one. We've got 100 kicking about in the system. I think we can stick it on the... what do we call that? That shouldn't be over 200. Should be less than 200. That should be less than 100. So if we use up all the... oh! Which side was that? Hello, Ali Megan. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. What's good? Not sure. Had quite a good lunch. Chilly. Yeah, I'm not too bad. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for welcoming. No problem. I've done a standard world gen. This fluorine seems pretty far away from the starting island. It was, but it was starting world gem. So, in case you don't know, I was part of the LAN party and had beta access. So, this world was created after they did all the big Gleber changes, but before it went, you know, became publicly released, as it were. So there's a good possibility that they tweak the world gen. And that was the kind of things they were fiddling about with. So I say there's a very good chance that it's not as per normal. But yeah, it was all standard settings. But whether they change anything, I just realised we'll probably do with a radar out here, since we're not covering it with bots. And I haven't brought any radars with me, have I? In fact, I bet there's none in the request. I've gotten so used to just using the roboports. I don't know if I've got any radars on any of the platforms. I wonder if they're here. No. There. So hopefully there's some platform somewhere has got some. Are they? I mean, they'll be on this because it's got the bits request on it. Yeah. Okay. But I wonder if these guys are carrying radars around. I love this thing that you can now properly set the things up and move them around and swap them and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So they've got radars on board. So if worst case, if one of those would drop one off for us. Did that arrive? We did get some in, so let's go and see about putting a radar on it. I'm pretty good. Which part of the world are you playing Factorio? So I'm in the UK, England specifically. Where we're having a bit of a cold snap. It's unbelievably cold. Suddenly came wintry on yesterday, basically. Okay, so we now have some what should we call it? Fluorine, is it? Fluorine? Okay. Let's just move this out of the way. I think I've got to route it around, basically. So we take that under there, I guess. And then I have to heat this pipe up. Does that need a... no. Oops. Bring that over. Do that, and then... right, why don't we just use our underground so we can get... well, actually, why don't we do... no. That. That's a bit better. So, are you going to start making... no, you're not, because you've not got an inserter. Okay. You should have said. And that's not got any heat on it, okay. Yeah, put it Just because I put that on for some reason, you know. Does it need to go? It needs to go here, doesn't it? So we do need to move that one, but we don't need to bother moving the lithium, like whatever that's called, the brick one. Oh, that is the raw lithium. Is the other one plate then? Yeah. So, do I want to mess around with that, or do I just want to? No. So it's going to need to move somewhere, is the point, basically. So we need to sort of loop it back. Let's just do that. I think I've confused myself. So that's the fluoroketone hot. We would then need to turn it into fluoroketone cold. But why do we need that? Oh, it is for this. Oh, and it does put out the hot... Oh, of course, I remember. I need to fluid manage, don't I? And the ice needs to come to these as well. Okay. I see. I see. Said the blind man. Isomania, the soundtrack. Oh, that makes sense. Are you planning on going Mega No size in this playthrough, or are you just going to Systems Edge? Just Systems Edge, basically. So that's the only plan for this series. My intention is to... So I don't like to use the word burnt out. It wasn't that. I got a bit fatigued, shall we say, with it. And there's so many new systems in this version of the game that it was all getting a bit overwhelming. It was like playing... So, you know, to me, each planet is like an overhaul mod. So it was like playing Bob's, Angels, SpaceX. I mean, it's not that complicated, but you get the point that it's a whole set of new system mechanics, like for every planet. And it was all getting a bit overwhelming, I guess. You know, over the top, you know, over stimulating, I guess, in a sense. It's sort of all new stuff all the time, as it were, was getting a bit much. So what I'm going to do once I get to the Systems Edge, which is not going to be soon, it's going to be a few weeks off, but once I get to the Solar Systems Edge, I'm going to do a new series where I basically just play version 2, but mess around with quality and parameterization, and just to really understand them. So I'll enable just that part of it, basically. And then I will also start a series on Satisfactory, because that came out and I have not played it, you know, and you know, I want to see if I'm any less annoyed with it than I was when I did my series before. So yeah, so that's my sort of plans longer term. There's no like tending to go mega base. At some point I will do that. I'm not much of a mega baser, but it'll be interesting to see how easy it is with this, because all of them, you know, these new machines. Just, like I said when I was at the introduction, where I was looking at Nalvis, you know. It's just, these are just so ridiculously productive. You know, these machines. It's like that is doing the entire equivalent to basically about 1.5 of them, I think. Given, and I have got extra modules in, so it's probably more like these ones with the level 2s in. But it's just so much more productive. Given, and that's using like a fraction of the amount of ore. You know, the ore's just not moving, and yet the belts are full, sort of thing. It's just ridiculous. How productive they are. So yeah. So. I imagine megabase scale is a different thing nowadays. You know, it's not about thousands, it's about tens, if not hundreds of thousands, I would guess. I have seen, I think Colonel Will was doing one, wasn't he? That it was like, he's getting close to 1 million effective science a minute, you know, when you factor in the whole, you know, fact that you get bonuses all over the shop, basically. It's like I'm ticking along there at, what's that saying, 500 odd science per minute. I'm not producing that many. I think it's a quarter of that I'm producing in terms of bottles. It's just, you know, you get so much productivity out of the labs, basically. Cool. Okay, so managed to get all distracted. We need to put these somewhere eventually. Let's just move them out of the way for now. It's just that I remember I need 4 of them, basically. So, we are going to need to do some kind of fluid managing. And then putting it into... So it's the hot stuff that comes out of there. And this is the cooly downy one. So if we maybe put hot stuff comes in there. Oh, I have to get a... maybe if I do it on that one. So that would be the hot stuff coming in. If you don't mind, can I ask you something? Actually, I'm an artist and I work for streamers. Do 2D, 3D digital work, which makes your stream more attractive and eye-catching. I have Discord or IG to show you my portfolio. Please drop in chat. I'm afraid I'm not interested, Ali Megan. I'm sure your artwork's great, etc., etc. I'm just not. It's not something I'm interested in at the moment. But I thank you for the offer, and so I'm sure your artwork's great. But say it's not. I do this very much as a hobby and fun. It's just something I do because I want to do something. I'm not intending to be anything other than just a kind of hobby streamer. So I don't tend to bother with any of that sort of stuff. If you really, really wanted to go on the Discord, then you can get a link via the bot if you just use the command, !point Discord, I think. But I say I'm not. I almost certainly won't look at the artwork, and I certainly won't avail myself of your services. But thank you very much for the offer. I say I'm sure your artwork is great, but it's just not something I'm interested in. Okay, and maybe if I move this down one, I'm thinking, and I got more room for tiles, heat pipes, and then I'm thinking actually maybe if that's like there. Because the cold stuff can come out of... Because this does nothing else. We don't get any weird byproducts or... No, it's just literally... spits out the cold stuff. And is it 1 to 1? 10 to 10, yeah. So we don't lose any. But this must consume some, mustn't it? This must be eating fluoroketone. Yeah, so 6 goes in, 3 comes out. Okay, so... we would still need to produce new stuff. But that suggests really we need to be putting it into a tank. So if we said the heat pipes are kind of going to come this way, in which case, can I do something different with this? Maybe I should just do that horrible curvy bendy thing. So if that came out into a tank, like so, and then does that need to be there? And then that went into the middle one, maybe, like so. Because we want a pump, really, don't we? That's what I'm missing. So if I bring it 2 further down, the pump there, and we can connect that to that one, and say only enable if the hot fluoroketone goes below 1,000, something like that. I think that's right. We are going to have to get the other stuff in there, so it probably needs moving over. But which side am I going to put these on? Because if it was on that side... Wait, that's the output, isn't it? Would that matter though? Because I guess it depends on... I have not got a clue whether these prioritise any of the particular inputs. That's interesting. Anyway, let's put just some pipe on. Obviously we're going to need to get heat pumps over here somehow. I can always bend it round. And then this is the stuff coming, you know, being used. Now we're going to need some undergrounds on that, but that's fine. I mean, we need inskirters and all that sort of stuff anyway. So the hot stuff, and it's literally just the cryo packs and the hot stuff. Okay. How about... I think I'm just going to go bots with this, because... I don't... Why are those there? So, if we... Maybe I don't need to put those 111, do I really? I could put just one there. And then requesting... Oh, well, I can't... Yeah. I can't insert into the rocket, because... Why would you be able to insert into a rocket? So if we pull over... Get it all here, as it were. I think I'm just going to do 1,000 for now. Are you You are not responding to platform requests, okay? Move that one over. That squeeze in there? Not really, no. Okay. Just put it there then. Oh, no power. Okay. Keep forgetting that what we call it, don't need power bars. Don't need heat, sorry. I think I'm gonna prefer... I've got that in there, I think. You're not doing lobby requests, that's fine. Okay. You also have me there. Here's my Discord. Cool. It doesn't. It just doesn't work. Here's the scale. Oh, sorry, I missed a load of comments there. Size. I just a very British experience watching the new Wallace and Gromit. Yeah, apparently that was because it was a Netflix BBC co-production, and I think it's now worldwide, isn't it? It was like 6th of January or something, 3rd of January, something like that. But it was on Christmas Day in the UK, on TV sort of thing. So watched that with my dad. It was good. There was a lot of good. There was a lot of British references that I'm not sure, not sure people would quite get. I'm sure they're still funny, but like they sort of mean other things in the UK, as it were. But yeah, it was really good. I don't think it was quite. I still like my favourite one is still A Grand Day Out, which was the very first original one he did as a Nick Part as a student basically. I still think that's the best one, but the one that this is a more direct sequel to, the what's it called, with the penguin, Wrong Trousers. That's also, that's probably sort of my second favourite. That's particularly the train sequence. It's just brilliant. Though it's just so well put together. And the way it breaks the it does the thing with like cartoons used to do, where characters would just run and they would pass the scenery back, so effectively the characters were in place and then the scenery would just move, and it's using that trick, but you don't notice until you sort of hours like it's one of those where afterwards you think, oh hang on, how did he lay down so much rail track, but it's just a brilliant comedy sequence. But yeah, it was really good, I thought. The new one. It's very weird not hearing, because it's quite a famous actor in the UK. Peter Alice, who died, was it last year? This year. Well, it would have been last year or the year before, sort of thing. But yeah, he didn't actually do the voice in, which was it, the Loaf one, the Matter of Loaf and Death, was it called? Well, he did. He sort of did bits and pieces, but there's a guy who took over for him who does like an amazing impression of him. There's quite a lot of. I mean, it's like, for example, there's a bit at the end, towards the end of that. I suppose spoilers, but where. So basically, they've done the same joke before, but it's. So Yorkshire and Lancashire are like very famous rivals. The War of the Roses, if you've ever heard of that, is basically the houses of York and Lancaster fighting each other essentially, because the War of the Roses is because it's a red and a white rose is the symbols of each county, and so basically, it's a very famous, long-standing rivalry. So they did they've done the joke before, but. You know, you go the bit where it goes through the canal tunnel, and it's got stay out basically, and and then it's like the joke on the other side of it is no, you stay out sort of thing, and that's basically because it's it's set in Lancashire, and that's then the famous rivalry between the two counties. Have I got any green undergrounds? I must have somewhere. Here we go. But yeah, so I say stuff like that. I don't know if it makes any sense, to people, because it just doesn't explain it, sort of thing, which is good in a way. But it's like, I imagine it must be what you're talking about. Or what do you mean? So we could reach across. That wouldn't be too much of a problem, but it would mean rearranging all of that. Other option, I guess, would be to go round. Or down here, maybe. I need to do the pipe, so we go there. And then how close would we need to go to that? No. Yeah, that'll be okay. And then down there. Oh, yeah, I do need that bit there. Yeah, the heat pipes thing is interesting. So I think it's going to be fun to come up with some like proper designs for it, but it just instantly creates spaghetti, doesn't it? It's just like default spaghetti creator. So what am I doing? I need ice. What's the other thing I need? I need the lithium. Okay. Would it be better? No, I don't think it would it? And the fact that heat pipes don't go underground is also a bit of a pain. So, you needed both, didn't you? Yeah. Zero refined concrete, eh? How about? Yeah. Okay. And I guess I don't think I've got. Because the point of this would be going back and forth. But I just set it, stupid time, so that it would just sit in. I wouldn't have to worry in case it got hit, hit by asteroids or anything. So if we chunk that down and set that back to ore. Because I imagine we've taken all of the refined stuff from here. And what I probably want. Okay. Okay. Well, I got plenty of heat pipe still, so it's not a problem. Let's move this down one. So something like that, but we need to do something a bit more elegant, I think. at some point. And the point is, I need to kind of combine those two. Maybe if I just move this over. Make it a little easier. Oops. Oops. Nope. Right. Cool. Because then this belt just kind of run. Doesn't need to go that far, does it? Run along there. We do obviously need access. Wait, this is the output, isn't it? So I could do that, and that gives me lots of spots to work with. Oh, hello, Nicola. Nathaniel, welcome, welcome. Hola, indeed. I've ignored the chat again. I got the feeling I've hit a wall with quality after unlocking legendary Aquilo. I can make it to Systems Edge with my current factory, and I might take your advice and start a new run. There is a lot I'd change, but ripping up entire planets feels like a chore. I've had that experience a lot. I sort of... It's an artifact, really, of how I build. It's like because I tend to rush through, as it were. So I'll make a lot of stuff really quickly and make a load of progress, and then I'll be like, okay, but now that means I've got to basically rip everything up, because these aren't very good builds. They work, you know, they're functional, but they're not good builds, as it were. And I really need to redesign everything. And I say it's something I've struggled with a lot with the game, because I say I can get through things really quick, you know, and I can get stuff done, basically. And but the problem is then I sort of realise, oh, I've got to rebuild everything now, because it just doesn't work, you know. Or it works, but it's like, you know, it's like building spaghetti on top of spaghetti type situation. And that's fine. I always like looking at bases that are like that, but I struggle with managing them, basically. So if we can get the other one on there as well, which we have the huge inconvenience that I've already put a belt there. Maybe we could do something here. And if I just do... What side that is that? Which one do I need? I need the plate. No, I can't. I could belt weave. We could do cursed things. No, I think... Cursed techniques. I think I'm just going to end up with a ridiculous amount of heat pipe. But that's fine. We just want to get something... Again, this is my thing again, I say, of... Just get it done, basically. Just make it happen. And then worry about rebuilding it later. And then you discover that rebuilding it is just this gigantic chore. Okay. I think I'm going to do something pretty horrible here. Got one on there, don't we? And then I can use splitter to filter this down. So I'm kind of just at the point of just needing to get this done, really. So how do I heat pipe those then? Do that instead. I think the thing I've enjoyed the most is actually the platform design. I don't think I'm good at it. I've said this before, but I think I really enjoyed making the platforms, even if they were a bit rubbish, you know. Because that actually should be on side, shouldn't it? It shouldn't actually be. What does that do? That puts it on the wrong side. So that's a great move. How about then? No, that would be the wrong side as well. Because I can't move it one over, can I? I could just use side loading, I guess. Let's go for the simplest solution. That on the right side, and then, well, we'll get a few going through. Oh, of course it's not heated, is it? Of course it isn't. Why would it be? How about we do shenanigans here then? Let's do that. So if I actually do that, okay. Okay. Oh, this machine's none of these machines are heated. Oh, I don't need to do two, do I? I can just do that. And that. The diagonals thing is a bit confusing, I must say, as well. Okay. So these just have output. I think. Which way around are we going? Let's go that way. So, if I put it one out, then I can just bot it over, I think. Have I got more storage chests? I bet they're not in the network either, are they? Can we fit one in there? Of course we can't fit one in there. That would be far too easy. And there? No. Well, yes, if I move that pipe down. Got it cracked now. Doo-ba-doo. So, get the fluid come out of there. I don't know why you're badooing at me. Not there. To there. Oops. Pipe is in the way. Okay. Like that. And like that. Like that. Oops. One there and one there. Power. Do you not reach then? No, you don't reach. Okay. You have to be complicated, don't you? You have to be complicated. Why is that? Oh, of course, I put that in the wrong place, haven't I? So, if I move that one over. Oops, there. No power. Oops. So, copy that. There. Boop. Cool. I thought I picked up some storage chests. Oh, that's not heated. Marvellous. Cool. There's no chance ripping up the tire. I'm still trying to justify my choice to use explosive rockets on my space platform. It just doesn't work, at least on the scale of my space platform. The cool part is that fusion is perfectly fluoroketene neutral. What's with the Yorkshire-Lancashire border? Yeah, I saw that. The Shaun the Sheep farmer made an appearance. Yeah, he did. Yeah, that was quite a nice little cameo, and quite in keeping with the humour in that particular series. So, the border is basically just, you know, obviously it's the border between two counties, basically. So all it is just, you know, that's the point of, you know, interaction between each other, and the joke is basically they're two counties that are famous rivals, and so, you know, it's like, yeah, it's just like two families, you know, warring with each other. It's that type of a situation. So it's nothing more complicated than that. It's just, I say, it's not like sort of, it's just not something that people would know, I don't think, outside of the UK. Sorry, I'm way behind on the track. Sorry about that. And yes, hello, Nikhil Nathaniel. I know it is technically better, but it feels so weird seeing pipes without undergrounds. Yeah, I still use them a lot. I shouldn't, should I? But it's over an order of magnitude more efficient. Yeah, but still. Just realised I rebuilt my bases on every single planet except Nauvis. I've just realised I have a ship of the used Theseus by my Nauvis base. There's a ship of the used my Nauvis base. Not sure I get that. It's not difficult if you just build the new base before demolishing the old one with bots, and that was before the Mega Ace. You say that. I tried to do that before. I did a series that was literally my first Mega Base. It's my first streaming series as well, and there's one part in that where I tried to deconstruct the base with bots, and I hadn't capped any of my chests. Oh, I'd capped my chests, but I hadn't for rail, and so all of the rail drop-offs had literally, you know, 6, more than that in fact, because obviously it was multiple carriages, but it was like 12 full chests of, you know, coal, and 12 full chests of iron ore and stuff like that. And so when you deconstruct that with bots, it takes hours. And there was literally, I think I did like a birthday stream or something like that. It was like that sort of time, and it was just like literally I was just leaving it running while all these bots were picking stuff up, and eventually I just sort of manually did it myself. You know, it was like just so much material in these chests. So yeah, unless you're very careful, deconstructing is not a simple job, you know. And that was before Megabase. You say that, but Falgora would like a word about building this new base. There's tiny issue of space, unfortunately. There are a couple of space-efficient solutions for Falgora. A sushi belt, tame with room for improvement, import fusion power to eliminate your accumulator fields. I wonder if it's possible. They had a fusion, didn't they, on the when it was the Friday Facts, you know, and we all saw some weird green building. So clearly the devs agree. I wonder if it's possible to scale up foundation production to the point you can just make artificial islands willy-nilly. I'm at solution 2, but I'm also on a railroad, so all the islands are smaller than default. Is that what Railworld does to Falgora then? It makes them even further apart? Because it kind of has a feel of a sort of a type of Railworld, you know, overall, so I think it's a bit strange really when you think about it. I do want to try sushi on Falgora next time. I'm just concerned about scaling it up. Well, of the 5 ingredients, the antiquity is mostly with the shipping. Apart from that, it's just the Aquilo specifics. Like, how do you branch off 4 belts of sushi in a way that doesn't clog? Good question. Yeah, you need lots of smarts, don't you, for sushi? I'm sure people do it in a dumb way, but there's always this bit. I always find it a bit weird. It's very artificial to me, a sushi build, because it's like, you know, because science is like the classic one, and there's always a bit where they basically sort the stuff into chests and then use that to like refill the thing, or, you know, there's like a chest sat there that's putting in exactly the right number of items, and it's just like, well, what's the difference between that really and using separate belts? It's almost an aesthetic thing rather than a, you know, practical solution in a way. But yeah, that's just my thought on it. Cool, okay. Well, it probably could do with going up, couldn't it? No, 200's fine. Okay. What about you? Are you backing up or anything like that? No, you're doing okay. We're kind of running low on ammonia, aren't we? But then we're only doing... I've got literally one ammonia building doing the whole thing. I wonder if maybe we could get some modules in there. Have I got any modules? I have. Maybe speed it up, prod it up, and then so that it's not 200% power consumption. Excellent. Great stuff. 100%, that's better. Okay. Ammoniacals. Ammoniacals. I'm just pleased this is making any science at all. I was kind of assumed it would just fall apart. The other question, I guess, is how... Oh, I've got loads of power spare, haven't I? That wasn't what I was expecting either. And we do have... Oh, well, solar panels are basically irrelevant here, aren't they? Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I think we'd probably get some kind of problem if I managed to fill up these chests of platforms. I suspect things would start falling apart then. What I should probably do is put a logistics limit on that one. Although we are producing a lot, aren't we? So if that gets over, say, 1,000 or something, whoops, 10,000. And that stops that from, yeah. So like this. Yeah. And I guess we could... Oh, that's not feeding across very quickly, is it? But then it wouldn't. So we have a lot of spare. Maybe I could... What would I need this to be set at? This would need to be like... Only turn on if there's less than... What did I put the other one on? 1,000 for this? So I'm not going to push any more into the system. What did I put on? Unless there's over 1,000. And this one turns on when it goes over 1,000. So actually maybe if I... 1,200 or so? I presume I'm dropping it down from orbit as well, you see. Boop. Cool. Oh, it's stacking up. Okay. Huh. That's interesting. I was not expecting that. Okay. Hello, Elemento. Welcome, welcome. Afternoon all. Afternoon to you. Hope you're having a good day and a good start to your new year. Happy New Year to all, if you didn't catch the very beginning. Well, Happy Gregorian. Is it Gregorian? Gregorian, isn't it? New Year. I agree, but the scale I need would mean doubling or tripling my rocket silos on all the planets, and I can't support that currently. I made the rookie mistake of importing all the stuff for rockets, so currently only Nalvis and Glibber are self-sufficient. Anyone here tried the Meraxis mod yet? No? What's that one about? Meraxis. Got it. Just forgot about using splitters. Forget about using splitters and simply embrace the bulk inserters. It's great how you can just add an overhaul mod at the end of the game. It's just another planet now. Wait, you're not importing circuits on Glibber. I wonder when the DRG X Factorio crossover mod will be made. Well, I have 666 subscribers. It's gone back up again, has it? It was... it dropped down to 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665. 665 I peaked at 680, I think, while I was doing the whole. Let's just have a quick look. Is it back up to 666? It seems to be wobbling around, basically. I mean, I fully understand. I mean, a lot of people, they'll be just getting a stream now of like live streams as notifications, and it's like, well, most people aren't interested in. What I should do really is separate them up. I should have a VODs channel, but it's like so much faffing around, really. It's just easier to do the restream and it's on both, and then people can watch it if they want or not. But yeah, it looks like it's gone back up again. Yeah, I think it went up to 685, I think, something like that. I can't even look. There's a very weird. I was saying this to a friend. There's a weird psychological thing because, so before the whole Friday Facts thing started, I had less than 100 subscribers. So I can actually have a look at the numbers. Where would it be? It'd be in analytics, wouldn't it? And then somewhere it tells me here, I think. Oh, it says 667 on there. Well, there you go. So, a year ago, I had 115 subscribers. And then, basically, when I started doing the Friday Facts, so June the 2nd, so that's approximately middle of last year, I got up to 198, so 200. So that was almost doubling the channel size. But not actually. Sort of 3/4 again, something like that. And then it got to the whole September, when I was doing the whole LAN party type stuff, I was at 360. And then suddenly, as of November the 4th, I was at 680. So it doubled. Oh, no, it's not quite double, is it? But getting in the territory of doubling in a couple of months. It was all a bit head spinning, shall we say? Which, I don't know how the. What I was going to say is basically the way YouTube presents the numbers to you. It scales the graph. It does it like this, and it's one of the complaints I have with this, where so the power graphs in particular are some of the worst ones. Where so consumption and production, it's showing me two sort of lines that they're not far off being the same, are they? In fact, can I merge it all together? No, just merging the quality, but I can't stick it all together, sort of thing. So I can't see a combined consumption line. There's no total consumption line on this. You might be able to get it somehow, I don't know, but that's why it's that's what I would want to see, in a sense. I mean, technically, I suppose, because of the way it does production, it's the same. That is my total consumption graph, I guess, when you think about it. But yeah, it does this thing where it scales the scale. And so you see now we've dropped down. This is like 19 megawatts now, where it was it was 23 megawatts. And so it's like a shifting scale. And YouTube does the same thing with your subscriber numbers. So it'll look, you'll look at that number, look at that chart, and it'll look like you've had some catastrophic change in subscriber numbers, and I've lost whatever it is now, 15 or something. And it just the way it shows it on the graph, because it's scaled for the relative period that it's looking at, it the graph is doing this. But if you change the time period, it will show you a bigger range, and suddenly it's an almost imperceptible dip. And I say it's got to be. It's one of these things where, because you hear about them, people getting obsessed with it and trying to work out how the algorithm works and all this sort of stuff. And it's got to be part of that, because it's the way it's feeding you information causes you to think in particular ways about it, if you see what I mean. That it's it distorts your perception of what's going on, basically. And so you kind of have to take it more, I think, of a like stepping back in a sense and saying, right, well, what happened over the last year, why, and not be focused entirely on what happened yesterday, But it's very much the culture we're in now, isn't it? The whole, all these TikTok, everything's very quick, and it's not about the long term. It's not about the, 6 months performance. It's about, well, how did it do yesterday, So, I think I'm going to limit these. So if we have it set on, say, 2,500. So it'll only make platform if we start actually using it. No, I got the hang of Clever pretty fast. It's basically Nalvis at this point. Rex's mod, an underwater planet mod. Okay. Has someone done a? I was going to do a video. I got all these plans for videos, but they all take so long to do. About mods I'd like to see. Has anyone done a gas giant yet? Because I think that would be quite. I'm going to say easy. It's a terrible word to use, but you could use quite a lot of existing mechanics. I think from the different planets to do what is effectively a gas giant. You know. You'd have to have some unique thing to it, like a unique material or something like that. Like it give you helium-3 for, you know, extra special, like to make superplasma or something for fusion reactors. But again, it's kind of like, what would there be the benefit of that? Because fusion reactors are massively powerful and kind of easy to do, as I understand it. Anyway, I hear rockets launching. I'm guessing something is delivering science packs to Nalvis, but we'll have to see where we've got to. Oh yeah, dude. That's odd. I wasn't subbed. Oh, this is an I'll take count on YouTube. Okay. B-Dog, do you mean like just route the sushi through the builds? Gonna restart on Volcanus Fun by, got stranded there for a few hours. I'll like use the inserter to split items. So there's about 4 conversations going on at once. It's actually handling all the petrochem volcanoes besides rocket fuel, because railroad really starts with coal. Liquefaction is basically not feasible. Oh, really? Okay. Interesting. I didn't really look at what the other settings were, but what is a volcanous railroad then? I mean, what does it do with demolishers? Because they don't expand anyway. I guess they're just the same. And do pentapods stop expanding? Interesting. I haven't played DRG long. I don't know what that'd be like. Clever is the best for me. It is the most unique challenge. It takes so few buildings to make everything it needs. Not quite. Place undergrounds on the bus on all 4 belts to allow 2 or 3 tile gap. Hitting a belt which can take inputs from filtered bulk inserters. I got the quality bug on Gluber and was able to get to a lot of epic stuff before Aquilo. I can hear loads of rockets going off now, actually. Aquilo, but they're just from. The Edge of Legendary is just so much harder than I realised. Really, I guess the odds are a bit less, aren't they, for legendary items? Like, you know, the random roll on them is like not favourable, I think. Interesting. I might increase that to bulk inserter. So it's still happening. I'm still a bit sort of stunned that these guys are kind of actually producing it. I don't know why they have rocket fuel in some of the. I guess I've run out of storage chests, which doesn't surprise me at all, because I have created a gigantic mess. Why have we got loads of ice in there? Let's just chuck it in these chests here. Guess that was from early on when I thought I'd put all of that in. Yeah, create a right mess on these. There's more ice there. A right miss. A right miss. uranium fuel cells in there. So what are you sending? Where are you sending them? Is Freezer here, and is it bringing in packs and all this sort of stuff? 2,000. I think 2,000's a bit optimistic, isn't it? Let's put that on 1,000 then. Not enough to fill one rocket. I wonder if I maybe should do what I do on Gleba with. Where are they going then? What is it launch? Oh, I bet it's launching up cryo things, isn't it? Ah, okay. Okay, that's fine. Which probably means that it dropped off a load of... Yeah, there we go. Refined concrete. That'll all stabilise. That's not going to be any kind of problem. But yeah. This wasn't set on auto, was it? No. And it didn't have modules in it either. Crikey. Oh, I guess those were the last cryo ones going out. Your fault, you're not doing anything because you haven't got ice. Why haven't got any ice now? What have I done wrong there? I put that as ice, not the platforms. I would have put, yeah, okay. I think 1,000's fine. There we go. How many we got there? 430 there. Okay. $849. Okay. So as long as we can get some ice coming down here. Yeah, what are you? Do we want to tweak that maybe? 250 before, I think. Ironically, that thing to overflow, to avoid not overflow, blockage, is eating the stuff before it gets used. We'll probably put it on the end rather than where it is, but there you go. Ah, so this is now backed up, isn't it? Increase that one, but that's not going to solve the problem. So, we need to use up solid fuel. Can I sushi something round and maybe... put in that one. Because when we get a proper demand for rockets, I guess that'll kind of help us out. You know, like consistent demand. Okay. Got quality bug and glamour. Game. My OG in-game Space Age Factory has the highest honour? Being Troopen's B-roll. Oh, interesting. What was it you specifically took from that then? I know one of the videos is Troop. I mean, this is obviously from the when they were doing the original testing. You know, it's not even, you know, like from the beta period or anything. But it was basically the bit where he does the help, because that is Trooper basically. You know, writing help on when they're on Aquilo with brick basically or concrete, whichever it is. He was quite pleased with that. So to remember. No shot. That wouldn't draw from all belts evenly though. Oh, you mean for the sushi belt? Well, that would only matter if the concentration of the item was particularly high. Lots of lava lakes and less coal for Volcanus Railworld. Okay. Lots of lava lakes. I mean, there's lots of lava lakes already. Wowza. So it takes lava to be effectively like the sea, effectively then, does it? Interesting. It did occur to me, there's some weird things they've introduced, sort of thing. It's like this place is, you know, you've got a temperature management mechanic, but then you've got an entire world where temperature would be a massively useful thing to manage, and you don't, you know, it's like, why don't you take fluoroketone or something to Gleber and make a fridge, you know? But also, obviously, you've got the thing where you chuck stuff away into lava. Well, couldn't you do that with water? What's really stopping you just throwing stuff away? Or in particular, and I know like Bob's has it in, is it, or maybe Angel's, it's where it's like you can turn almost anything into, no, it's in SpaceX, turn almost anything into some form of landfill basically. And it's the same idea, isn't it? It's like, well, why can't we just chuck, I mean, like this place, if, alright, you say maybe the seas on Alvis are quite shallow so they'd fill up or what have you, but these are meant to be like super deep, you know, seas basically, aren't they? So you could just chuck anything overboard. Maybe it'd float away, but you know, you've got the entire planet. Yeah. Okay, it's 3:45 AM. Gotta go. Alright, see you later, BT Duck. Okay, bye. I re-enabled biter expansion because I enjoy the challenge, so that's all the same for now. Listen, okay. Doesn't it make the patches pretty? Oops. Patches bigger too. You should be able to be getting plenty of coal from them anyway, right? Can't check them right now, but I'm pretty sure I did the same settings you did. Railroad with butter expansion, and I got all the coal I needed from a single patch. I don't think I've gone through the first patch. I said it ran out, but it was because I was using the old miners, and there were only like 20 of them on there. The whole thing is just huge. Trying to tell me which is colder, the UK or Aquilo. Hello, Jacob Marlin. Welcome. Here in the US, and it isn't too bad, just about freezing. We're down to like, I mean, I don't think it's got above freezing here. Certainly up north and in Scotland, it's like not even got above. We've kind of had a sudden cold snap basically, and they're forecasting snow, which you would think, given everyone's seen, you know, Christmas cards with snow on them, and you know, in the UK of, you know, the frozen over Thames and all this sort of stuff, we'd be able to cope, but the whole infrastructure just falls apart basically when there's snow, because we get it so rarely in reality that no one prepares for it. You know, it's a sort of it's like one of those, it's like a cost benefit thing of saying, right, well, if you spend X millions on investing in snow protection or whatever you want to call it, sort of thing, you know, snow plows and all that sort of stuff, and it sits there for 99% of the year, and you've got to maintain it and versus basically, okay, well, instead everyone just loses a day where they can't travel, sort of thing, and so that's why they don't really invest in it. But so you'd sort of think, being a modern, you know, Western economy, that we'd be able to cope with snow, but so everything just grinds to a halt. So Aquilo is definitely colder than here in the US. I mean, it's probably colder than in the UK as well, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's a freezing day and a freezing weekend for us. Are those yellow belts? Yes, they are. Sander Huseman, welcome. Hope you're doing okay. Actually, no, Aquilo is exactly 15 degrees C everywhere. Apparently so, yeah. I guess that's the air temperature though, or maybe that's... Yeah. Well, that's the... Would that be the air temperature or like the conducted... I wonder what that's meant to represent. Because it doesn't defrost until it goes above 15 degrees, which is odd when you think about it, because the ice should melt at like 5 or so, you know, depending on various effects. But yeah, the sort of defrosting doesn't take place until 15 degrees, is it? Above 15 degrees. And then buildings kick in at 30, is it? Something like that. Game mechanics, eh? That was a show, yeah. Most of the video on fusion power is mine, and like 30% of his video on elevated rails. Okay. How is stuff freezing from up there then? 15 degrees C is like 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Minus 15 degrees C, I don't know. No, yeah, it's just a artifact of how they have to do it, isn't it? Because there has to be like a default temperature that it sets everything to, which is just set at 15 degrees. Because it's the same is true when you play, I think, and I'm going to say this and then lay it down and then it's going to prove wrong, but if you put heat pipe down on Nalvis, it's 15 degrees as well, C as well, I think. Where is it? There it is. Let's just randomly put a random piece of random pipe down. Yeah, already says 15 degrees here. It's just because it's a universal constant in the game, basically. The heat pipes are at 15 degrees when you put them down, yeah. Yeah, I suppose technically it's that, isn't it? That they're when they're in the... Maybe the engineer's pocket is 15 degrees C. So when they put it down, then it's 15. But it doesn't get any colder, I guess. Cool. Okay, so I think, did it go? I think it's taken. I think it's on the way. We are taking our first load, I think. Yeah, of cryoscience. Excellent. So, how about we get some sort of technology that would be useful? There aren't too many on Aquilo, are they? So we've got the captive biter spawner, which is obviously makes our life easier later on. We've got the legendaries. The legendaries. Wow, that's expensive. Well, I suppose it isn't because it's half the cost, isn't it? Which I've set up at quality, but you know we don't need it. Foundation would obviously be useful. Is that? Do you use that for? Can I build train supports on Aquilo by default? And then if I heat shielding and deep screw bars, go lava, oil, ocean, and most waters. Oil ocean. Is that? Does that mean Fulgoras? I thought that was called oil sand rather than oil ocean. Yeah. Most water. Anyway, we don't need that as such. What we need for progress is the fusion ones, and they're only 500. So let's do that one first. We've got the Gleba trip to go, so let's put it a second. And then we need railguns, I guess, so that we can set up that production. And then let's take that off. And then I guess we can have a look at fusion power. I don't know how vital fusion power is for getting to the edge of the solar system. I'm sort of been assuming that we aren't going to need it. I mean, we need it to do the science, obviously, so we need to do it, but I don't know if you need a fusion-powered platform to get there. But anyway, let's queue them up, because that's 250, and then that's 1,250. I mean, this is excluding any prod bonus. And then so that's 2,250. We've sent 1,000. I'm talking, you know, effective usage. So we wouldn't be able to do all those three, but we'll get close. I mean, now that I know this one works as well, I mean, I could always just convert Sweet Ride to doing the same trip sort of thing. But it kind of feels like I need another one because the transit times are pretty long. It's not the quickest platform, let's be frank. And it's going some big distances. But anyway, we'll see what it does with a round trip. And how many we stack up, basically. Because if it does get to, say, 1,500 or something, then it might be worth putting a second one on. And we've only got, well, I say only 300. That's not bad, is it? We're not chugging away. Yeah, so really we probably need to solve this problem, basically. We could very simply just put another one in. Say here. That'll help. Because they just keep burning it, don't they? They don't sort of... Oh. Sort of manage the temperature in any sense, I don't think. Yeah, just keep chugging away. Of course, they only burn it at a certain speed, isn't it? Yeah. So that's one partial solution. Nice and warm in that pocket. Exactly. Gotta have a warm pocket. That should be a thing though. It should start at 15 degrees and slowly cool down to like -200 or something. Yeah. I say it's sort of a lot of it. I'm kind of hoping that mods will put, you know, when like mods get into, you know, there's much more of them and what have you, that they kind of get into that territory of tweaking things like that. Although, as I understand it, quite a lot of stuff is actually locked off. There's not quite as much access to like some of the internal systems as you might think, but not for the space age stuff. There's a more limited set basically of options for mods, but I've probably got the wrong end of the stick of that, and that's not actually true, but that was what I understood from conversations I had. Cool, okay, so is this backing up is the question. That seems to be chewing through it. Because the other one would be, and what I could also do, we could bot some over to here. Oh, I'm already doing that. What? Wasn't there another one? Oh, let's use that. Oh no, it won't tell me on that, will it? Unless... No, it doesn't tell me where those are. So there's definitely one there. I thought I put another one in somewhere. So, get the bots to do it. It's weird how that's kind of become my solution to things now. Never really used to be a fan of using bots. It's just kind of cheat code on everything, isn't it? So, one of the things we could do is actually kind of request this in from... Because I'm just aware that this place is really burning through nuclear fuel. So we could request that in. I need to do it the other way around though, don't I? Because of the weird way they've done this. So Actually, no. If I do it as a... Let me think. If I do it as a request from Nalvis, which would be the bits one. No, other way around. It's the orders. So we want to order in. See if we can get this to work. So import from Aquilo. That. Depleted uranium. Be interested to see what it does with that, because it's set to 0 so that it doesn't fill up with that itself. Yeah, because effectively got two contradictory orders there, basically. So I'm interested to see what it actually does. Oh, we got a. I wonder why they've ended up on there. Okay. Where are you, anyway? Oh, you're here. Okay. Is cryoscience happening? The cryo's been dropped off. Cool. So, we can... Let's just do those two for the time being. I think things are going to get complicated. So that's got the cryoscience on the belt and on the way. Why are you not happening? What are you waiting on? Oh, pink science. Okay. Why have we not got any? I guess because we were using it all. In fact, that was set there for ages, wasn't it? Have we got a Fulgora problem? I never doubled this one up, did I? Because I was all like, it seems to be coping. So it's incoming. Two, 4, 6, 8. Huh. So it's only kind of taken half of it in. So maybe I do need to double this up then. How would I do that? Where would I put it? I guess if I get rid of these... And then... If I... Maybe copy... In fact, I'm going to have to get rid of the other one as well. Super force build that out the way. And then... There's a lot of iron ore in these chests. There's a lot of all sorts of crap. So I think what I might use Sweet Ride for is like going around and picking up a load of rubbish. Because I got, you know, old stuff. I mean, I guess I could stick it in recyclers if it gets a problem. Always feels strange just getting rid of stuff in that way. Okay, so that connects that. We then need... And those have got requests for them. So we got the light pink needs connecting here as well. So I need to connect that one. Like that. We're therefore just missing the superb capacitors. If we... split like that. Where's that actually going? Oh, I guess it's going in there, isn't it? So, if we make this red belt, Make a red splitter as well. It's too far, so oh. Let's do your finest spaghetti. There you go. You're going to start making stuff? That one is. 4,000. Wow, okay. We might run out of them, mightn't we? Look at that though. Level 2 modules, isn't it? I wonder if we've got 3s on this planet. Yeah, looks like we've got a few. Oh, we should have loads. I mean, I should be absolutely churning them out here, but that's the type of thing. There's a lot, like I say, I'm really mostly focused on just getting to the end, you know, getting to the edge of the solar system really on this. And this is what I was talking about earlier, where it's just like, there's just so much stuff. And so many, oh, well, can I do a better build for this, you know, type problems and situations that barely feels like I'm scratching the surface, you know. How's our accumulators doing? Oh, I'm sucking a lot more power now that I've doubled all that up. So, perhaps we should upgrade some of these. How many? Oh, we got a couple of big ones. Nice. 14. We've got tons of the green ones. Yeah, proper tons. So, were all of these green? No, not by a long shot. Okay. Didn't I have an upgrader somewhere? Not really, no. There we go. So, where does the green stop? So let's do them. And what's that? 200 odd? It's not giving me a flag saying we haven't got any. We ain't got none, Chief. We ain't got none. Just let them do that, see how that gets on. Love these bot waves you get, like. Sort of sinusoidal. Okay. So, how many we got left? We should have loads. Literal tons. Literal tons. Have we got any super duper quality ones? We have. Oh. Solar green circuits. Yeah, I've got... Oh, there we go. Bidding. Research and technology using cryogenic science packs. Excellent. What do we do? Quantum processors. which are the big thing from this planet, because that's our science pack for Promethium. I mean, technically, I don't have to produce that, do I? I don't think. If I'm literally just, my goal is get to the edge of the solar system. In fact, what do I actually need to do in order to do that? Get to the edge of the solar system. Do I not need... Because you need to do the research for the pack. And that then... Yeah, because your research prod is your end one, isn't it? So that also unlocks Solar System H. So we have to do that one as well. Okay. So if we pop that one on. Maybe I should take that out of the queue, as it were. Given it's going to burn through pink science, which we're just recovering on a shortfall from. So where are the green ones here? So if we go with that again, looks like I've got enough to basically replace all of these. Some of those are going blue though. Don't want to do that. Is that because are you a blue one? No, they're not going blue. I'm imagining things. So let's do all of them. As it looks as say that we've got literal hundreds of green. Lovely greenies. Did these all become green? I think they did, didn't they? Yep, those are all green. I quite like the fields of accumulators. Bit of a weird thing, really, but kind of cool. We should have, so still have hundreds of them. I think I could probably just be brave and do this entire field. So, where did we stop? We got to that one. Yeah. So how about I say we do absolutely over 1,500. Have we got 1,500 bots? Can you do 1,500? Hello, Ulrich Cole. Welcome, welcome. Railguns. Railguns indeed. Railguns. Guns for rails. I'm still a bit disappointed you can't use them from orbit. I mean, you can use them in orbit sort of thing, but that you can't shoot at the planets. I think that's a missed opportunity. It'd be awesome if they do put in the whole, planet. When you're orbiting a planet, you can see the planet, as it were. Because someone's done that on a mod, but I think I said this before. I suggested that. It just seems like an obvious win to me. It's a cool thing to add, but if it was a proper map, it was had the proper map on it, which I think is what they're probably why they didn't do it, because it's like you would expect to be able to click on it, or it would reflect your actual base on the thing. But as I said before, you could just do a picture, But it'd be awesome if it was your map, your base, as it were, and you could target, literally zoom in and target, biters or free areas with the railgun. Like a proper real-time strategy thing. So I bet there's loads left still. No, no, no. We're short by 652. Okay, so we couldn't do the whole thing. Right. So we need to undo. So we need to go backwards. What was it? 652. We're well short then, aren't we? See, through caution to the wind. Let's do to there, because that's a nice round place. Cool. That would have completely boxed all our power up, but it'll work itself out in the end. Death from above, indeed, yeah. Right, how many packs have we got installed? What have they done? 578. Has one been on a round trip? That feels like someone's come and gone. 2, 1,000 still. So it's only picked 1,000 up. Have I done something dumb there? I mean, that would be a rocket fall, wouldn't it? So maybe it just hadn't had a chance to produce them? Let's have a look, see. They're all running. You're all running? Yeah, you're all running. I should put modules in then, shouldn't I? That one. Actually, let's see if we can do that one as well. While we're at it, so I'm pretty sure I'm importing. The bizarre thing of importing the modules here, even though this is the planet you're supposed to do modules on. It might be knocking about somewhere, but I don't think I ever set it up. Okay, so that should produce more for less resources, but we actually probably want a speed boost as well, because they would have slowed it down, so we probably want to swap one in. So that would be now 0.37. What was it before? Reduction, boop. Yeah, so I kind of, so I doubled it and then I've slowed it back down again, haven't I? So we want to be at 100 knots per minute would be across 8. So 50 for 4, 25 for 2, 12.5 a minute, which maths is 12.5, 25, so effectively we would need a quarter. So we're alright actually, I think, if we're, yeah, if we've got the one speed in. I think that's still okay then. Let's get them in and see what happens. And this is all nicely backed up, so let's see problems there. We might struggle for accumulators, I guess. It seems to be happy. I got 1.6 normal ones. Oh, I guess because I've I've freed up a load, haven't I? Okay. And what else does it use? I guess the stone and stuff is probably not going to be a problem. So capacitors we know are backed up. It's the holmium that would be the issue. I imagine that'll probably eat through and we'll end up with not very much. But then I have done prod buffs and stuff, so maybe it's all sort of balancing itself out. How are we doing? So you're coming back here. Excellent. Have we got multiple thousands for you to pick up? We probably, I mean, there's probably a thing of it wouldn't actually pick up more. It just, it's not waiting, if you see what I mean. And then eventually, it'll be that thing where you do 3 that are 1,000, then the fourth one is 2,000, then 3,000. Because it only does 1,000 on a rocket. Wait, that's not on auto. That won't be helping it, I guess. It's obviously picking up supercapacitors and all sorts as well. How are we doing on cryoscopes? Because we've done these, obviously. We got that far through. I wonder if that was a second load. You're both out of fuel. Nice, because you're high temperature. Okay, that's good. We have only 160. But that's because you've come and gone? Yes, excellent. What about our... So our solid fuel is not back up anymore. In fact, we're eating so much of it that... that's a bit suspicious, actually. I guess it's probably going into rocket fuel now, isn't it? That'll be part of it. What about low density structures and these sorts of things? What's the situation there? We've got some there. What about blue circuits? I don't see any blue circuits. Is that because they've all gone into just here? We've got 64 there, 100 there. It feels like it's not enough. What about adding on? Oh, 100. 100's not enough. What about we go with, say, 400? What did low density structures end up at on here? I bet it's just one stack, isn't it? It's only 100. Okay, let's go with 200. And then rocket fuel, which we're making, but let's make it 40. Okay, so pick those two. Will no, there's only one, isn't there? What about the bulk one then? Because these guys are like the top up as well. What have these got with their request? They should have plenty of that there. Yeah, and then they've probably got top-ups here as well, because it stacks them, basically. Yeah, so we've got another 300 there. Perhaps we make that 400, just for a bit of a safety net. And that's on 200, that's quite a lot. So that's 4 stacks. 400 there, and then 100 rocket fuel. Cool, okay. And this is the one bringing in the home, yeah, okay. Now we've plenty of room still. See, these are the types of things I don't quite get. I don't know why I end up with piercing ammo over there. I think it's because, and I think they might have changed this, but I think when you like deconstruct something from a belt, it now puts it in the actual, the hub. It didn't. I don't think it used to. But basically, so if you deconstruct a bit of belt and it's got some rockets and what have you on it, they go into the hub. And of course, this has got all sorts of requests set for, the amount of piercing ammo and all that sort of stuff. And so it interprets it. Well, it then says, right, dump them into the orbital drop slots. And so whenever it goes to the next place that it can drop them off, it drops them off, basically, irrespective of whether they're relevant for that planet or not. Hi Peter Schmidt, don't know if I said hello already or not, but welcome. Having a good day. So strange to see more than one belt colour in a base. One reason for, Ganner's first, is that I can switch to a green belts only everywhere as soon as possible. So much less tedious. I've had a lot of people say that. It's not generally how I do things. Even pre-space age, I wouldn't generally. I don't upgrade my entire base. I've never really done that. I mean, I did, like the first time I played. I think first couple of times. But it's just a mass. It's like, particularly with blue belts, it's just like a massive resource sink for no real benefit, in my opinion. Yeah. But people play however they want, don't they? It's just to say. I never really. It's like I'd struggle to fill a green belt with most of the stuff I'm producing, so why use it, you know? What we could do is upgrade some of this. I do get the whole... It's like, I mean, there are limits to that, though. You know, I don't use it absolutely. You know, I suppose this has ended up with using more yellow belt and stuff because it's just what I've got in stock, you know. But I don't, you know, don't do inserters in the same way. I'll just use, you know, fast inserters by default after a certain point. Well, I was saying that I was going to put some. These were going to be burners inserters, weren't they? That's right. And then this should be as well. And I was going to fix something here, wasn't I? That was meant to be, or do something with it. I mean, if I was to make that, so if we do, because that really only needs to go to there. If we made this there, wow, that's a lot of ice. And then also added on a request, say, solid fuel. Is it going to do something dumb like try and put that in though? And the thing shouldn't be. Oh, and I never set up a thing here, did I? But I haven't got anywhere to put a tank in. I guess I could just randomly add one on here. Got any tanks? Just stick one in there and heat pipe it, and then we can say maybe why have I still got the red wire on there? So I connect it with red wire to a different part of the system. Okay. So I put one of them there, but then disconnect them and use a red one. And then I don't know, I was going to do the insert. Oh no, that's the. What have I hooked up there? What is that? Oh, it's the inserter, is it? Yeah, because it's meant to be the pump. So this would be an enable disable if the fluid goes below 5,000. And then we can put this pipe back in. So, and then, because that's a separate power network, it should be. And although it's a bunch of accumulators, solar panels, it should be producing enough just to keep these ticking over. And then if it needs to kick in, it's the accumulators, and I could actually put in 2 there, couldn't I? Even though that's undone all the good work I did. Because that's a separate network, that's a separate network, that's a separate network. Okay. I thought it was 5,000, not 10,000, okay. Cool, so we did, oh, we've also got that research on the go for some reason. So we did actually do the quantum processes, so really I need to work out how the heck we make them. Hello, Oxymoron. Nice. Wish you a great day, and wish you a great day as well. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Yes, quantum processors, or whatever they're called. Are they? I presume they're made in one of them. Railguns certainly are. Or did they not do the research? No, don't look like they're made in one of them. So, what are you made in? Oh, an EMP. Okay, have we got EMPs here? That was weird. Don't know what I clicked on. Yes, we do. So, let's just pop it over here somewhere. An EMP. There it is. No, quantum processor, sorry. So, that's an all-in buffet, isn't it, really? We've got carbon fibre, so that's Gleba, tungsten carbide, Vulcanus, and superconductors, which is Fulgora, as well as processing units, which is Alvis, and then lithium and fluoroketone. Okay, so we've got another use for that. From here, and it uses up fluoroketone again, half of it getting used up. Okay. I showed this on the video I did where I was like, so what did they, it's called, so what did they change? It's actually a live stream highlight thing, but those things cost like 100 times as much in the original thing. I think it was because you only used like one, and you got like 10 science packs. It was one of those, but no, it wasn't even used in the science pack, was it? I think that was part of the reason, because it was just literally used in the what's it called, railgun, I think, something like that. It was literally just a one-use thing, and so it was like a way of, in a sense, limiting the number of railguns you made. But yeah, it was like 100 processing units and 100 lithium plate, and it was just like an insanely expensive recipe. Yeah, that's because the science packs were made. Well, they were all made out of asteroid chunks. The Prometheus. They weren't called Promethean because the Promethean thing wasn't in there. It's just the interstellar science packs. But they were like made just from pure chunks. So they were like, I think you needed acid. Is that right? But you needed like one Prometheum as it became interstellar chunk, one iron chunk, one gold chunk, one carbon chunk rather, one water chunk, and it basically that's how you made the science pack. So it was nothing to do with biter eggs or anything. These needed biter eggs, I think. I think that was one of the things. And as I say, like a ridiculous number, like 50 of them or something. So we can make it in space. That's interesting. Huh. Because fluoroketone would be interesting. Is it going to be easier? What they actually used in then? Because it's obviously the EMPs. But they're not used in the ammo, are they? Oh, and fusion reactors, of course. Okay, so it is using the Prometheum science pack, but so I'm probably not going to do that research, basically. And then it is using both the reactor and the generator, and they use a lot of tungsten and superconductors as well. Okay, interesting. So we have ways of making those appear, and lots of space. So how much room? This is kind of why I made these guys like have lots of space, basically. I'm saying lots of space. What about this one? This has a great big capacity. Or rather, great big stock of those, doesn't it? So, if I was just to request them down in a separate request, basically, and have that request associated with... No, I think it should fit. If I increase these requests, then these guys will satisfy them, but it will also add things on here. So these ones will increase what they send. But then I've ended up with a load of rubbish in this. I think that's because I wanted one of those, and I think I have got one. Yeah, here we go. So we've got a level 2 rocket, which has an enormous coverage range compared to the normal ones. Got the increase there. So that covers the entire front of the spaceship, basically. In fact, I think those would as well. But yeah, there's extra room on that one. So I think I was just experimenting, requesting one in, and then I never got rid of the excess. Oh look, we've got epic accumulators as well. Where are we? We're here, okay. So yeah, we could get rid of some stuff from these quite easily. Oh, that's a point. How many packs have we made? Have we got 1,000? You're launching them up. Looks like they've gone. Yeah, it's all green, I think. Let's just wait for something to arrive. And then off it pops. It's okay. So yeah, I think I will import it in the sense of... Are you heading back now? No, not yet. I think a lot of these are because these aren't capped requests and we've ended up with random extra ones, but I could just get rid of all of them, I think. Just drop them back down, basically. Why aren't you doing anything? Oh, because you... Oh, that's not going to be helping anything. Why is that on 2,500 seconds? Well, that won't be speeding anything up. Did we do another research? Oh, we did the rail gun, didn't we? Do we have Prometheum Sciences on Malvis? No. So we might as... Oh! We've probably got... Looks like we've got some in the tank, as it were. Or on the belt. Yeah, just a few knocking about on the belt. We'll just wait for them to chug through. And then we'll pop the gun one back on, gun food. There's quite a few on the belt. Oh, I think they must all be in the machines now. Which one is it? Oh, it's the one at the top. There we go. No, there's a few there. Cool. That's on its way back now. Okay, so I think I can get rid of these basically. So that makes a bit more space, basically, is the point. So why have we got level 2 modules? Where am I requesting them? Seem to be being very dumb because I don't see why these would have come up here. Because everything I put in the machine, I think, you know, in the various things. Yeah, I don't have a single quality module. Oh, I can't see modules on that, can I? No, okay. I wonder where it's got those requests from then. And that doesn't show them either. I must have sent them up by hand then. It's just I don't know why they would be on... Maybe it was just like a precaution thing. I was like, you know. Oops. Did a test flight with them on board to see if they were needed, maybe? I don't know, I don't remember sending them up at all. Interesting. Anyway, point is, I think with a bit of tidying up, we will have some more space. So we can then request... well, we can put this request on, and it would... The problem is... And it won't matter anyway, because these requests are coming from... It doesn't matter, does it? I find this bit a bit confusing, because... Basically... Yeah, so I could request more... So how does that work then? So if I wanted more of them, because you have to set the import from, but you can only set that on the platform. I mean, it's not going to matter, is it? Because these aren't overlapping requests. But it's just if one platform was doing one route and it had this logistic set in it, and didn't go near Volcanus, but did go, say, to Nauvis, where Nauvis has got stuff because it's come from Volcanus, you couldn't set separate import things? Interesting. Doesn't really matter, but... so, yes, if we set this to, say, 500, and then we wanted them as well, didn't we, I think, to 500. What else did all of this need? I've completely forgotten the point. So if we're making them, we would need carbon fibre and superconductors as well. Okay. Probably do with increasing... No, I have to do it from the platform. So this... Because what I need to do, you see, is where I did those edits, this needs to be switched to Nauvis, because it will have access to tungsten plate on Nauvis. Do I really want to do 500 though? Oh, go on, let's see if we can get it to work. And if we put that to 500 from Nauvis, because Nauvis has got a load, because they're being brought from the other platform, by the other platforms. I think maybe if I just put it on 250 actually, because I'm not sure how much the other platforms are actually carrying. I think it's just 500. And then carbon fibre, what does that go up to if I do that? 500. So if we put 500, say. We needed superb conductors as well, didn't we? And they're already on 500. What do they stack to? I suppose we could also look, what's a rocket capacity is 250. Rocket capacity is 500. 10 stacks. Okay, so maybe if we do put that on. It's only a single rocket. Oops. That. And then capacity on them 1,000. Right, so if we maybe make that 1,000. Again, that actually wants to come from. Now this. What was your stack size? Your stack size is 1,000. I could also reduce some of these. We've ended up not really building anything on Aquilo. Should we make, and again, I say we get rid of these. I suppose maybe I should be actually using those in the machine, really. Are you bringing them in, you see? No. Oh, but then we've probably got backlog with rockets because blue circuits and concrete. We have to see what it does. What was the other thing we needed? So it's carbon fibre. And what's the stack size on that? 500. Yes, that's perfect. 1,000 of them. It was whether I was going to increase this to 1,000. Because the problem is, obviously, if it's using them, that's 2,800. Fail on 500, 957. Okay, so we should be okay with importing them. What was the other thing we needed? So, tungsten carbide, superconductors, and carbon fibre. We've got that now. Blue circuits, we needed to increase the number of blue circuits. So we got 300 there, but we want maybe take that to 500. Cool. And then the fluoroketone is the local stuff. And then cryoplant does let us build the other thing, I think. Oh, we've done fusion. Cool. Which is EMPs. Oh, right, sorry, no, it isn't. I keep saying that. Railgun. A gun of rails. So that's quantum processors, superconductors, and tungsten plates. So we've ended all that already. Carbon fibre, superconductors, tungsten plate. Okay. And then what about the whole power of fusion? Ammonia. So I have no idea whether fusion is a requirement for a platform edge-bound platform, system edge-bound platform. I suspect not. These are all things that it's all the same stuff, isn't it? Tungsten plate, superconductors. I mean, it's just a ridiculous number of quantum processors. So, what's your production rate like? Or how many do I actually want to make? Because if I'm really only making these... Why am I really only making these? I mean, I'm pretty sure we need to get railguns. We can make the ammo for them anywhere. And it's just explosive steel and copper plate, so that's just normal stuff, isn't it? Which I'm used to making on platforms. Huh. There's your black science. I could just do one of those just for the sake of it, but I think you get the achievement for doing the actual thing itself. You know, doing the research. Oh, and that's it. Right, crikey. I guess let's do, say, legendaries and that as well, then. Do I give it a little bit of a break? I guess might as well. Let it do that one first. We also have these researchers, don't we? Yeah. I think someone said that maybe they fixed it, but the shooting speed above 2 doesn't actually do anything because the time the animation takes means it can't get any quicker. But yeah, a lot of these feel like sort of very end game things that I'm probably not going to investigate in this series because I just want to get to the platform edge and that's it. I keep saying that. The system edge. So, we need quantum processors to make railguns. How many? We need loads. I suppose I could take one of them. Is it the same? It's the same. No, not quite the same, but very similar. So if I wanted to just make a railgun, I could just flip the recipe, couldn't I? You know, a personal one. So we can have fun killing demolishers in one shot. But otherwise it's just that. And then you need all of that. So quite complicated recipes, ingredients-wise. If I just kind of bot it all in. I'm wondering if I add... Does this go... So I think it's backing up. Is the point. So if I was to add a third one somewhere, so we would want another one of them probably. Doesn't have power. Does now. There we go. And then so that gets us a bit extra lithium plate. But it's all kind of trapped. Oh, I guess I could steal some here, couldn't I? Because these need lithium plate. So I think basically I need to put these next to each other. And somewhere that they can access the fluid here. So just gap in case. So one of them, because it needs access to this as well, like so. And then it needs a whole load of clever stuff, mostly quantum processors. So we can pop the rest of it in, and then we need to put, say, what? How do you make them again? Them. Yeah, we need fluoroketone as well. Okay. Get you around. Like so. Yeah, does that not output? I know it just eats it. Okay. Just 100 fluoroketones, please. In which case, it's probably going to be better doing the other way around. Get out of the way. Because then I can just sort of do that. Oh, that's not what I thought it was. How am I going to get to that? That's not even what I was after. Oh, well, I don't have to do it there, do I? And put that as your connection. Like so. Oh. Because it's quite common ingredients, isn't it? Yeah. So I wonder, can we do a single requester? I know everyone says not to do undergrounds. Oh. And then right there, say. Sneeze. But that also needs an output as well, doesn't it? So do that. You're cold, are you? You're cold, are you? Okay. So, storage chests? No storage chests, right? Right. So this will be the quantum processors. Now, which has the bigger list? That one? Oh, oh, freezer. Okay. Seems happy now, then. So I think I need to increase these. Like so. Sure, bots are like the world's worst idea on Aquilo, but... Okay, and then we want... railguns. How many railguns do we want? I'm wondering about putting quality modules in these. I wonder how much better a quality railgun is. Can I put rods in? Oh, I can. Okay. Does quality increase power? Doesn't do that, but... slows it down, I think, doesn't it? We've already made 3. Wow. Well. Tungsten plate is not on that list, is it? No. I don't quite know how we've got lithium plate in the system. I guess it's just from where I've been picking these. 353 of them? When have I put them in storage then? Okay. I didn't need to put them in storage, and I didn't think I'd done that before. Oh, there you go. So if we set that up, maybe diddly diddly dum. Put it as 500 since we've got all the others at 500. Cool. How many do you need? 100 quantum processors. Weedy little tyke. Okay, so we'll put that on, say, 20 as well. So I don't know where those came from, but I'd rather belt them over. Not sure that's going to happen though. Do they both need them? No, they don't. So it's just this one that needs them. Okay. No, I can't see me making that happen very easily. Oh, you've got nothing. Okay. So this wasn't quite as overproductive as I thought. Okay. In which case, let us increase production. How are we doing on power? Still okay-ish. Have you unlocked legendary? Sorry, I think that comment was for a while ago. I'll recall. I think I've literally just done it. I think. Let's have a look. No, I haven't. So it's next. I've just put it after this one so that we finish this off because that was chugging away before we started. I think. So yeah, we'll finish that one off. We're almost there, and then it'll be legendary. And we'll see how we get on with that. I mean, I think it's going to be a couple of hours before I get that to 100 of them. That's not very productive at all, is it? Would it be worth sacrificing a bit of power for a bit of speed? I mean, we get 50% prod on it anyway, don't we? So we're getting free ones. Whoops. So yeah, it's going to be a while, I think, before we get one of them done. But then, how many do I need? I'm going to do one ship. It's going to have, what, 5 on the front or something? Don't really know whether I need them on the sides. I'm hoping not particularly. So I literally just want to get to the solar system edge, hit that, and then we'll call it done, basically. Whether I do other streams and just tweak some stuff, I don't know. Maybe I'll try and do a Prometheum Science Pack. See what it's all about, but yeah, I think the next few streams are kind of really going to be about designing the platform to get to the edge. Because we need to make railgun ammo there and that sort of thing. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I'm thinking faster is better. What's the production time on them? What's the recipe speed? Quite slow, I imagine. 30 seconds. Wow. Okay. Power demand 350%. That's what you like to see, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think I'll go that mad. Excessive. Cool. Okay. How are we doing? Oh, it's 6:10 anyway. Need to stop. So, I'm going to leave it chugging, basically. I'll get myself some dinner and just leave it chugging away. I haven't seen these particularly backing up in a problematic way. You know, we don't sort of seem to be... Oh, we are getting quite a lot of ammonia there. Okay. Maybe what we could do then, since this is now eating everything, we could super speed that a bit. Speed that up as well. In fact, how many... So that's consuming 4 a second, and that's making 8 a second. So if we could speed that even more. 6 a second. We probably need... No, inserters are okay. So that's now running out of ammonia. That's good. We don't want ammonia backing up at all, because that was the problem before. Yes, we do need to be a little cautious. 6 a second, 5 a second. Because obviously the ketone is dependent on that as well. As is the lithium. Yeah, anyway, so because that's the thing I need to keep the eye on, basically. The other thing I am, must say, sort of concerned about, in a way, is the whole depleted uranium situation. Because there is a risk of it getting backed up somewhere. I think we'll be okay. That's more a reflection of the fact that I've turned this into a gigantic mess. I'm not actually sure, because I just realised, because the chests don't need heating, do they? So actually I could stick loads of them in anywhere. Yeah, it doesn't matter. As long as they've got bot coverage, we'll be okay. Famous last words. And it's still 6:10 and I've still not done anything. Okay, so yes, I say I'll leave it chugging. Where's my schedule? There we go. And we will come back tomorrow even. And I'll have built, I don't know, so I'll just leave it running. I might mess around with, because I was saying about the EMPs on now this, I might mess about with that tonight, basically. But yes, that's it for today. Back tomorrow at exactly the same time, and hopefully, if I've made those, so I keep calling them EMPs, railguns. If I've made some railguns, then we'll start building a platform. I might try, I guess, if I'm going to do that, I should start sending stuff into orbit, shouldn't I? Because that'll take a while. So yeah, that's the other thing I would definitely do. I will just set up a big order. I might just plop down the same platform again, you know, just as this is a set of orders for all sorts of stuff that are useful. That's probably what I'll do. And then we can use that as the starting point tomorrow. I think it'll be tomorrow. Building the new platform to get to the solar system edge. So the key challenge is going to be making, I think I've got roughly a handle on, you know, how many ammos to do and that sort of thing. So the question is going to be, how much do we need to scale it up for supplying the railguns with ammo? I don't think as much as I'm worrying, because I was a bit surprised at how cheap those. And we could always do like an extra whatchamacallit research, a meteorite productivity research as well. Cool. So yeah, we might be finished within a couple of weeks. However, there will be no streams next week because I am away. We are taking my dad, not that I'm not going to enjoy it myself, to the snooker. We are going up to that there, London, to watch the UK, a couple of sessions of the UK Championships. No idea who's playing because it's obviously a heats-based thing, and it gets determined right at the end. So yeah, we're taking him up for a birthday treat because he was 80 last October. So yes, I will not be here next weekend, so there'll be no stream. So we'll be back on the 18th of January, as it says there. And it seems like we may well finish, very much in quotes, get to the solar system edge by the end of January, maybe, because there'll be 4 streams or so. After that, the plan is to start a new series where I will be playing just version 2. So we will drop off the space age part. I will definitely have quality on, because the aim of that series really is for me to just focus on parameterization and quality in particular, to really try and get my head around it, to understand it, to see how I want to use it, see what I enjoy with it, etc., etc. I might well also put elevated rail on because I'll probably use that series as well to build blueprints, so to build some new rail blueprints and all that sort of stuff. So that'll be a fairly chill, fairly long ongoing series, and that'll probably be Sundays, I think, maybe. Because what I'm also going to do is start a series of Satisfactory, because obviously that came out into 1.0. They're talking about already doing an expansion, so I would quite like to play it through before they launch the expansion. I don't think that's coming anytime soon, but yeah. So I want to do a playthrough of Satisfactory, hopefully, if it's not as annoying as I found it before. So yes, so that's basically the long-term plans. Is we will be continuing this until we reach the solar system edge, switching to just plain old version 2 with quality and Satisfactory as the stream's going on. And I've been while I was not sick, on the bits where I was not so sick over Christmas, I was working on the script, so I'll be starting to do videos again fairly soon. So, Happy New Year to you as well, Alright, cool. Go Ronnie. Yeah, well, whether I get to see Ronnie, I don't know. I actually went to an exhibition thing where he was playing with Jimmy White, and it was quite funny because they're obviously both very fast players. They're sort of very popular, with the public, as it were. But they were rattling through it. They were doing, so they're just fun exhibition things. They're doing trick shots and all sorts of stuff, and some of the sets were literally 10 minutes long. It was the entire, entire set was just gone before you could blink, basically. So yeah, it was quite a lot of fun. Hello, Police Ticks. Welcome. Snooker, yay. I like Neil Robertson. Yeah, so I'll be honest, I'm a little out of touch with some of the newer players, but yeah, I say I have no idea who I'll get to see, because it is very much, they do obviously the draw and the seeding and all that sort of stuff, and then you sort of, and you have to buy the tickets months, and literally I think we bought these in February, so there's absolutely no idea who's even going to be there. So we could literally see some, because obviously these are open entry ones where you get people just turning professional and stuff, and that's quite a lot of the early rounds, I think. So yeah, we'll have to see. I can report back on who it was. It's 2 sessions, so afternoon and evening, so it should be quite good. Cool. Yes. Anyway, so stream tomorrow, where we're starting hopefully the railship, the platform for the with rail guns build. No streams next week, and then back January the 18th. If you're new here and you've managed to stick around while I've stumbled my way through all of that, I'm really out of practice. I only missed it a weekend doing the streaming. Basically, you can find all my VODs for all my series that I've done, loads of Factorio, but also Satisfactory, Dyson Sphere Program, and Tectonica. I also want to do a new series of those two as well because they've had some big updates. But yes, that's all in the far future. You can find them all on my YouTube channel, as well as a few pre-recorded videos. Particularly, I did a whole series on the Friday Facts. They're worth watching if you want to get an archive on what they did and all that sort of stuff. But new stuff is coming. I do promise you. You can also follow me. I guess if you're watching on YouTube, you can potentially watch on Twitch if you preferred. And there's also Twitter and Blue Sky there. I basically just mostly post to say when I'm going live and when there's a new video up, so you can keep abreast of things there. Cool. So thank you all for joining me, and Happy New Year, as I say, if you didn't catch me saying it earlier. Hope 2025 treats you well. And yeah, I can't believe there's a new year. 2024 was about two minutes long, wasn't it? That was 2024. Anyway, yes, if you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio Space Age. Thanks for watching. Cheers.